Hi guys, how's it going? Just getting things set up. So just going to do a short live stream today, and I'm going to do it on an idea here. So last week I did a series of sessions, like idea generation sessions, and I did them using certain rules that I applied to them. Now this has all come out of the Mike Monday course known as the Leap, which I'm doing for the second time. And I've started doing these live streams. It just happens to coincide with me doing this course for the second time. It's like a music production productivity course, which I thoroughly recommend. Check out Mike Monday's teachings if you haven't seen what he does. It's where I get all this Trello stuff from, this track organization kind of stuff. And so I made some music last week. Some of the sessions I recorded, some I don't think I did. And the first one was you have to choose the first sound that you come across. So I think I did record some of those sessions. So I literally just got a plugin up, just chose a preset at random, and that's what I had to use. And some of these tracks I thought had some potential to become something. Some of the later sessions were on some keys that I recorded. And in fact, I have an apology to make. I did a session on Friday, which I actually loved doing. I was really into it. And I watched some of it back and I realized that my mic wasn't working for most of it. And in fact, let me just check now that my mic is working like it is. What I do need to check is I have sound coming out of Logic. This is never a good idea to. I'm rushed today. I'm not going to lie. I'm trying to fit this in because I need to get home early. So yeah, I'm kind of up against it a little bit, which is usually when mistakes happen. Okay, so this idea was one of these preset things. So it's so basic. There's a sound here that was the first sound I came across and I had to use it. And it's basically an experiment in creativity and how can you use something which you don't like or that you did sit and choose. And it's also kind of an experiment in not having to like sift through things all the time. It's more like finding something and working out how you can use it rather than trying to look for the perfect thing all the time. So this is the first sound I came across, which I literally hate, so I had to mute it. It's just like I literally hate it. So the main idea of the track, it's just like such a basic beat just chucked in there. But we have this offensively loud bass part from the Ledger, and this is like literally 15 minutes. But then why I like this, let me just mute this part, was I came up with some cool, what I thought was a cool kind of little MIDI effect channel strip, crystallizer FMA. So it's randomly spitting out kind of pentatonic chords, and I think that had some potential. And it kind of got me thinking when I listened to it outside the studio, and it gave me that I had this kind of hook of moving on, it being about kind of motion and moving on. So this morning when I came in really early, this is really embarrassing. I actually sang the hook in. Now I'd get someone to sing this, but I sang it in just so I've got it. And I put some vocoding on it. Let's hear it just dry. So I've got some pitch correction on. So it's not, I haven't done anything to it. It's just there. And I did a little layer for it. So yeah, so that's just a placeholder for something, and I quite like the hook, and it made me feel like it made me kind of feel a little bit like Caribou. I've completely forgotten what the track's called. Can't do without, can't do without. So I was thinking that it was more of like a repetitive, like kind of vocal that goes all the way through, then things come in and out. And anyway, part of this Mike Monday game that we're playing at the moment, it's called the opposite game. So you basically have to write down things, what the track's like, and then try and come up with an opposite section. So I said it was kind of bright sounding because lots of like sorry, kind of bright, sorry kind of sounds. So dark would be opposite. Determined but unsure, but I put sure. This is things he gave us. So house 4/4, the opposite would be kind of broken. Driving, staggered, and he asked you to give it a color. So I said it was like light blue and dark blue, and you've got to try and program a kind of alternative section which uses these opposite words. So that's what I'm going to do now. So what I might just duplicate the section because I don't have long. I'm going to do something which is kind of which I think might be a bit simpler. I'm going to try going for the house 4/4 to broken. So if I take out taking out the kick and snare, and I've actually been listening to some of these Apple loops that are in here, mainly from GarageBand actually, because I'm quite into the GarageBand on the iPhone. I really like it. I did a session this morning actually just on GarageBand because I just find it really good fun to use. And some of these breaks are just like really cool. So I want something broken, not bad. I also kind of feel like breaks kind of vibes are just feel kind of they kind of feel good at the moment. I don't know, I feel like breaksy kind of vibes is making it's coming back in. So this is randomly playing at the moment, so I'm going to need to commit to it doing something not random at some point. I don't have to, but so what we're kind of looking for there is some kind of tension and release really with that. So the idea of doing this, excuse me, this opposite thing is that by introducing kind of the opposite of what's already playing, then you create a tension and you kind of take people to a different place by really changing things up. So when you go back to the original groove, it has a kind of big payoff to it. So actually, I kind of forgot I'd done this. I actually wrote out some ideas here. So big layered kick section. I'm going to try that later date because that's going to be more work. Fixed chord pattern that doesn't move around like the other part. Maybe a caribou style synth with serum. More saturated dense sections. Maybe I'll just go. Okay, so more saturated dense sections. So this is dancing around. So what if I just duplicate this track? Let's use the ESE. Let's take off the up. I can hear my son just arriving downstairs. In fact, here he is. Hey, I'm just doing a stream. Okay, so sorry about that. Let's take off these plugins. So if we try something more legato, so not as choppy, that could be quite cool. And maybe, and also because that's going to make it more saturated, and to me makes it feel more blue, more dark blue than light blue, maybe. So let's see what this is like. think that kind of works pretty well actually. You and me, baby. What else did I suggest here? So a PS pad is a pull stretch pad. Now if you haven't come across pull stretch, it's just like, it's ridiculously cool stretching thing, but I think it'll probably take a little bit too long now. So because I don't have long, I'm going to focus on doesn't move on the other part, maybe because I've done that. No, it's not exactly what I okay, so maybe I could try live drums. Okay, so I'm going to repeat this section and I'm going to try adding in a new drummer track. I've never used this live drummer before actually. This is the first time I've ever used it. I think it goes back to the beginning. It does. So I'm looking for, like in the Caribou track, can't do without, it's got these cool kind of live drums that come in, like flangey live drums, and it gets really, really hectic, like borderline over compressed, over limited, over busy, but it's kind of, I mean, it's a great track. I love the track, but I mean, I remember playing it at an afternoon kind of wedding party for actually for Mark Brown, who runs CRT Records, and it was like, wow, it's pretty full on. The ending gets pretty hectic, but I do quite like that in a way when you get live drums and it all gets a little bit like chaotic and I can't think what the word is. So let's try it. I don't really want a kick. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's try a pedal board. So this is a flanger basically. That's not doing what I wanted to do at all. Let's try Phase Mistress. I think the idea with these sessions is actually just to quickly try out these ideas, not perfect them. It's more just like, is this a good idea? Can it be something which I'm going to perfect later? This could maybe come in later, this flange. Yeah, I don't mind that. So what's that like if we come back in from this section? Sorry, I was just opening Ableton as well. And now I'm opening the project. Come on. So even you know, just people often just add things all the time, like, oh, I need another sound, add another sound, but often just changing what you've already got simply is good enough. So maybe on the bass I could do that, but that sounds pretty bad. Okay, so to kind of just finish off, I'm going to add in some just chuck loops in and see if I can get this part grooving a little bit more. I'm looking for some character. I don't want it to be too breaksy. I want it to be more 4/4 kind of. There's kind of a potential there with the clap, maybe. Amazing. Suddenly I've had real problems with the transport on Telephoto not matching Logic, but I think it's weirdly fixed. Is there a new Logic out? Is there a new version? No, weird. Not gonna complain. this loop. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. Okay, let's try some other vibes out here. Bit too processed. Okay, so I'm not sure if I want the whole loop here. Maybe I just want that. This obviously needs a lot of work, this beat, but I'm working on it. Okay, so if I record enable this track, whoops, this track, and so I've got all these set up so they're going straight into Logic. 9 shaker, got wrong. What was the other one? Perk. Supposed to be easy. It is easier. Perk is 22. That's all right. Yeah, that's right. So if I record these in, they should all go on those tracks. Okay, so then if I mute these sounds from here. Just going to pop this out because it was a bit messy, I think, on there. So I'll just put a little hat part in. I feel like there's something too much low in here. Now, I appreciate this is totally random, this sound. So what I'm going to try doing, just bouncing this down, leave the original sound there, and let's just see if I can chop out some cool bits. I don't like it when it goes to like these weaker notes. Okay. Ready for it? You ready for it? Yes! That's the one. Okay. Okay, so just to finish off, just want to have a look at the low end. Something about the kick doesn't feel right. So that kind of fits a bit better sonically, I think, but it feels a bit loose in terms of the I can use a bit more low end. A little bit higher up in terms of where it's placed, like that. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do today. because as I said, I've got to finish early, so I'm going to bounce that down. I don't know if this track is really doing anything for me at the moment. But the aim is to sorry, two things at once, is to try to get one of these what's called a discovery session on one of these tracks. So each one of these tracks I'm going to cycle through them over the course of the week and do a session on each one. And some of them, like this one, I'm really excited about. And this one I think was cool as well. Yeah, I think actually 3 or 4 of them were quite cool. That was probably the one. I think these 2 are the ones I'm the least bothered about. But the idea is to just work on it and see if something comes out. Because sometimes you might work on something that you dislike for a while, and then suddenly you like it because you do something which takes it in a new direction and it sounds cool. So we'll leave that as it is, and I'll bounce it down, add it into my folder. I drag it down so I know that this is the next one to work on. Now tomorrow I'm going to go and take a day, get some sun and go down to the beach. So I will not be live streaming tomorrow, but I will be back on Wednesday live streaming again then. So please tune in and check out another one of these sessions, and I will try and fit in some of these tracks that are in the process of finishing or developing. I know I was doing the vocals for this one last week. I'm going to try and carry on with some of those as well, but I'm doing a lot of freelance work this week as well. So so it's going to be mainly these sessions I'm not going to be prioritizing. All right, guys, thanks for being with me this afternoon, and I will hopefully